Hello, crafty friends. This is the Paper Chef here. Welcome to part 5 of my Seaside Bay workshop series. It was the January 2023 workshop series, and today will be the conclusion. We will create sticky note holders. This is fun. You can go to the Dollar Tree, which is what I did, and they had these big sticky notes that were really thick, and I pulled it apart. What can I do? It's $1.25 now. They went up on us. Anyway, I pulled it apart and have two out of one pack, because that's how high it is. I'll give you all the dimensions. I have a thing to write on underneath here that it's kind of a mess on my table. All right, so let me just kind of go over this. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, so I'd like to take a minute to talk about this cute bundle and let you know how you can get it and let you know about the celebration, or just for a moment. But then we're all about crafting. So the suite that this is part of is called By the Bay Suite Collection. You can get the entire suite for $87, and the suite includes the stamp set, the dies, this balmy blue ribbon, which we used a lot, these flat back pearls, which poor little things, they keep popping all over because I keep abusing them. I need to put them back in their package. Okay, these little flat back pearls, which we use the heck out of, designer series paper, and yeah, that's it. Those 5 things. That's part of the suite. I gave a video the other day overview of how you can get this whole suite and up to $175 for only $99 in free shipping. Or you can just shop for this stuff like this as my customer. Okay, either way, whether you want to join my team or shop as my customer, there's my website. All right. I saw something freezing, Pamela, and I was like, oh no, I hope it's not your camera, but you're freezing because you're in Colorado. Sorry about that. I was like, I hope my camera's not freezing. All right, so let's talk about celebration for a second, and then we move on to crafting. Celebration means that anything you buy during this time, from January 5th to February 28th, anything you buy up to $50, then you can pick something for free. You can't buy these adorable owl stamp set, for example. You can only get them for free. Whoops. I went to just go grab one real quick. Okay. Because I had to trip over stuff to get to it. But anyway, that's the adorable owls. This stamp set is so adorable, and you know, you can get for free. And you can't buy it later, and once celebration's over, it won't be available again. Okay, so there's some Thanks a Bunch stamp set, which is going to go great with next month's Easter Bunny Workshop kit. The link to sign up for the Easter Bunny Workshop Series kit, which is going to be epic, and I'm not just saying that, right beneath here in the description of this video, I put a link to sign up for the workshop. I'll also put it in my newsletter, so if you go to my website, there's my website here. My website, there's a newsletter sign up, and you can sign up for the newsletter, and then next time I send a newsletter, you'll get notifications of workshop series. I try not to put too many links about workshops in my videos because I am only a one-woman show. I do have some team members helping me. I'm just showing you what you can get for free. But it's very hard to update the descriptions of videos. I like to put what's called evergreen links, things that won't change. And if I put workshop links in the videos, then what happens is somebody is bound to click on it later and say, it doesn't work anymore. I can't sign up, and the sign up is over February 5th. And I don't want to go back and change the link again because I just can't manage. I have over 800, maybe 900 videos by now on this channel. So I just can't go back and change all the links. I wish there was an easy way to change them all at once. I got to work on that. And these are all the really cool things you can get for free. And then here's, if you spend $100, you get that one for free. So, and then this is one I'm using the heck out of. I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of the Easter Bunny Workshop series, because in that series, we're going to make mini sticky note holders as our first project. So I have a sneak peek of our first project, and you can go ahead and go to Dollar Tree, get yourself some stickies to make a bunch. They're great for craft fairs. This is a host step, meaning you can only get this one as one of my host prizes, or if you spend $300, or if you have host a party or a virtual party and the orders total up to $300. I give these out as prizes a lot for those of you that use a host code. Anyway, check out the video I did all about the 3 ways to join my team. I did that the other day. All right, let's get going. So take a piece of Night of Navy. It's the color we haven't used yet. And when I say the color we haven't used yet, because this series has certain coordinating colors. I've already lost the page. Let's see. So the colors, we've already used Petal Pink. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm going to show them to you later. So it doesn't matter. I'll show you all the colors we've used. But we've used Petal Pink. We've used Coastal Cabana. That was a color. We've used black when we made our boxes. We used the color black. These were all in your kit. Okay, let's see what else. We used crumb cake. So now you have a piece of Night of Navy you haven't used yet. And it should be, it's 8.5 by 11. Let's see what size this is. Okay, this is the 8-inch side. So open up your trimmer. So, because your trimmer goes out to 6 inches unless you open it up. So open up your trimmer. And of course, in my hot mess, let's see if I can find the measurements. All right, so we want to do a piece of paper. I should have this one memorized. 8 inches wide. 8 inches. Or 8 inches long, I should say. Okay, so your paper was 8.5 by 11. What I'm talking about is this. Your paper was 8.5 by 11. The Night of Navy cardstock. You always get lots of cardstock in my kits, designer series paper. And this time my mom made you something special. All right, 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Okay, I should get a couple of these out of this piece here. 3 1/4. All right, we're going to make two sticky note holders with our scraps of paper. Let's do this. I'm done with the trimmer for now, but we need to use it for the designer series paper in a little bit. Let's move some stuff over that side. All right, now we're going to use, this is our little dies for our decorations, but we may have enough. Oh no, we definitely need this for our sentiment and our decorations. Let's put those over there so we don't lose them again like we did last week. And let's start scoring. Now, I like to use Simply Scored. It's just my personal preference. You can use whatever you want to score your lines. Because you have a scoring tool on this trimmer. But I like to use the scoreboard or Simply Scored, it's called. This is one of the things I said, hey, you get this in your starter kit if you're going to get it. It's a great thing to have. Every crafter needs one of these. All right, so we're going to score now at we have to do 2 first. 2 inches. Now notice one thing about this Simply Scored. The 2 is not where the line is for the 2. The inches are in the taller line. I'm going to lift this up closer so you see that in a little bit. But the 2 is actually at the 1 7/8 inch mark. So the 2 is actually up here. This big line is actually the 2. Just so you know. And then 2 3/8. This is separated, this Simply Scored, in 1/8 inch increments. Let me make sure I'm using the small little part of the stylus. 1 2 3/8. 2 3/8. And then we're going to go out to 5 1/2. And then we're going to do 5 7/8. Well, 5 1/2 is 4/8. 1 2 5 7/8. All right, we're going to do that again, but I'm going to do it at a different angle because that's how I like to teach. So we're going to go like this. And we're going to move this one down. And you're going to get to see this closer up. So we see, even though I'm scoring at 2, there's the number 2. You're going right to this point here, the big line. And that is scoring at 2. 1 2 2 3/8. Go out to 5 1/2. I'm going to hold my thumb there. 5 1/2. This little lines are the halves. And 5 7/8. 1 2 3. 5 7/8 is right where the 6 is. Okay. So let's flip my paper around. If you missed the last video, those are all the measurements from the last video. Do need to transcribe these at some point into my little book because I've been pretty good about making workbooks lately. I'm proud of myself. But it took a while to write all this stuff down, and it took me hours and hours and hours to make the workbook for my last course. But I'm getting good about writing it all down now into actual digital format. All right, here we go. We're writing this down for you before we do any designer series paper. This is cardstock time. You're writing about the Night of Navy cardstock and the measurements. Fine, okay, so here's a pencil. Night of Navy. And I like to do this as a visual, right? So you can kind of right? So you can kind of get a visual of that. So we have the measurements are 8 inches by 3 1/4 inches. Okay, see how we're going with this? This is the sticky note holder. That fits the sticky notes, right? And then we have score at 2 inches, 2 3/8 inches, 5 1/2 inches. And if you're making a bunch of these for craft fairs, you will memorize this. And 5 7/8 inches. So my team member Jean, she did this demonstration in our tech challenge for our team. And ever since then, I've been making these all the time. So now you're going to get your little bone folder or spatula, and you're just going to do what's called burnishing the edges. And then we'll see how this first part fits in. So, and you can kind of tell which one's the top and which one's the bottom in a little while. Like one side is just 1/8 of an inch smaller. So you could kind of tell, but you do need to tell before you put the sticky note in. And what I do is I just cut out 2 pieces of designer series paper, and then the shorter piece is the one that I attach to the top. And then that's why I make sure it's the top. That way I make sure my pattern is facing the right way, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, we got some Aussies here from the land down under. Because it's so late here on the East Coast that only my diehard crafty fans are here from the East Coast, and I'm going to have a lot of West Coasters today. But that's why I do my videos at different times. Well, not just because of that, but because when the muse strikes me, I do my videos. So this is cool. Let me say hi to you guys. As I dig out some designer series paper, I'll be saying hi. Hello, Kathy WP. Hello. Nice to see you. And Pamela at 9 degrees at Pamela's house. Hello, Melissa Sullivan from Texas. Denise T. Hello, Janet again. And she's sweating, 81. Okay, she's in the warm area. Oh, what a difference the climate makes. Okay, that one's going to be too dark. See, I'm just trying to pick out papers now. This one is good. I did use that one already. Oh, this one's beautiful to use. I'm just kind of picking out scraps that'll be big enough. That's not going to be big enough. This is too dark. This side, maybe kind of tacky, but it might be okay. Might be okay. Let's see. This one, oh, this one's perfect. There we go. That was perfect. These are from a different package. So if you're going to use this paper, this is called Waves of the Ocean. It was in the last workshop kit. Then go ahead and use, instead of Night and Navy, well, you can still use Night and Navy. It's one of the colors. But go ahead and try to use Pacific Point. That would look really good with this, as opposed to Night and Navy. Super Sanders 58 is saying it's 22 degrees there. And hello, Brooke L. from Florida. And Margot from California. Nice to see you. Yep. Okay. Denise T is saying that the sticky note holders were a big seller at your last craft show. Let everybody know, Denise, if you don't mind, how much you charge for them. I would charge about 3, but I mean, it's up, different amounts, but maybe more than 3. It depends. Well, no, 3 is probably what I can get for them, but I know I could get more. When I was overseas and doing some craft fairs, I was definitely able to get way more money for things, because over there they value the handmade things way more than we do here in some places. But it also depends on the kind of craft fair I go to. So I'm kind of curious as to what you charge. All right, so let's get all these little scraps and make the tops and the bottoms. So this piece here, you might have to look at it and decide how you're gonna, I don't want to cut that crab off, right? So I would have to look at that and see how I'm gonna use that for the top. That would be a good top piece. Or a bottom piece, as long as I don't cover. If it was a bottom piece, I'd probably be kind of covering up the crab. You see what I mean? So it wouldn't be a good bottom piece because I would cover up the crabby, but it would be good on the top piece. All right, so the DSP, we need it to be either way, whether it's the top or the bottom, it needs to be 3 1/8 inch. So instead of cutting it 3 1/8 inch like that, right, we're going to turn it around and do 3 1/8 inch, because we don't want to cut off this crab. So always be aware of your pattern, the way your pattern's going to go. Now we're going to turn it. So now we have that crab salvaged. So we got the 3 1/8, right? And now we can turn it. Talk about that. Didn't really even out, did it? It's almost like a little wonky. Okay, it's going to be a little bit less than. All right, 3 1/8. And then this one is by 1 7/8. Oh, wait, let's do that again. 3 1/8 by 1 7/8. So we need to turn it that way, because we don't want to, again, we don't want to cut the crab off. All right, so that's going to be a good little piece for the top. But I did cut it a little bit shorter than normal. And I already did one of these, so we might try these other pieces. All right, so now we go ahead and cut these. I'm gonna be cutting them this way, because I want the pattern to go that way. So 3 1/8. 1. Okay, this trimmer here is in 1/16 of an inch, right? So you have to be aware that it's in 1/16 of an inch as opposed to the other one we were using. I might be able to use the other side of one of them. 3 1/8 by, I'm going to go ahead and do some of each. All right, so we need some to be 2 inches, right? And then we need some to be 1 7/8 inches. 1 7/8. Okay. Okay, we have some extra pieces here. I'm putting those off to the side. All right, so let's examine. Let's examine our little, well, let's take our little template and just kind of look at it for a second. All right, so we want the shorter one to be on top. So we know these are the shorter pieces, right? Because we just cut them. 1 7/8 inches. Oh, yeah, that's going to be good. I think these two are going to go really well together. Oops, that was going to be the top again. Then we need this for the bottom. But let's, of course, mix it up. Yeah, I'm liking that better. What do you guys think? I'll do one with this. I think this is kind of tacky, this side, but you know what? It looks like shells, and it does go with the theme. So we're going to use one of those on this side. We'll use that one on this side. And then we don't want to do the same one for the top, so, and we don't want to use that. So maybe we will have to use our crabby over here. Yeah, you know what? It goes with the crab. I will give it that, because look at the gold flecks through there. So we can go ahead and do that. Or we can go ahead and use another side. We could go ahead and use the shells. Right? You know what? I might do that. All right, let's see. Did I already do 3 1/8? No, it's okay. I'm just going to leave it. Let's leave well enough alone because we can do this all day long. You can kind of see how my mind works, though. You just kind of have to just sort of, you want to pair up things that go well together. And this is a real good way to highlight your designer series paper. All right, like I said, this one's a little bit short because I had to cut it short because my paper was wonky. So I might have to cut the bottom of this one a little bit short just to match that. See, but normally it's the measurements I told you. I'm cutting a smidgen off. I'm not even measuring how much. I had to cut a smidgen off the other one. So as long as they're the same width, whether you put like an 1/8 inch margin or not, this one won't have, it's just going to have a bigger margin than the other paper. So liquid glue is good for this when you have designer series paper on the sticky note holder so you can really get it straight. And then we're going to be shutting these with Velcro, but I know, and I'll be showing you my swap soon. And one of the swaps that I got, well, I didn't get the swaps from my team yet, but I'll be showing you soon. One of the swaps I got from one of my team members who we did like an individual one-on-one swap. Her name's Betty, and she, oh, that might be cute. Okay, let's see. Do I want that to be the top or the? No, I already put glue on it. Okay, her name's Betty, and she sent me a cool like gatefold card that I like to make gatefolds, but she used magnets to close it. I was like, oh, so cool, magnets. So you can use magnets to close this. So use little magnets or Velcro. I'm going to use Velcro today. So you can get Velcro at the Dollar Tree or any office supply store. Yeah, I like it better with the 1/8 inch, like the real tiny margin. All right, Yvonne is also cold. She said it was -28, and now it's -19. Oops, wrong side for the glue. So hello, Yvonne, cold. But see, this is a fun thing to do. Got to move, keep it moving. Keep on crafting. You move around. You don't get cold as much because you're moving. And actually, crafting is exercise. So there you go. There you have it. All right, so now that we know which side's up and which side's down, we can put the sticky note in there, and then we could do our die cutting and decorating. So you make sure your sticky notes are the right side up, right? So that's the bottom of the sticky note. I'm not using Post-it note right now. I'm not using the Post-it note brand. Times are tough. We're using the Dollar Tree brand, and like I said, there was 150 sheets. I have a package here. Let me show you what I got at the little store near me. It was $1.25. See how big that is? And I was able to get 2 out of there. Out of 1, and I just put some extra adhesive in there. And then I'm going to kind of, just to make sure that's the top, I'm just going to push it against the edge. Not make sure it's the top, I'm saying, just so it's kind of lined up with the top. Or use that. All right, so good. Little 1/4 inch margin on each side. Now, not for the bottom, not for the mini sticky note holder I'm going to show you. I just put designer series paper around those. Voila. And then you could stamp your sentiment right in there, too. I usually do that, too. I put a sentiment in there. We'll do some Velcro. All right, will green match? Well, it's going to have to match. It matches enough. It's close enough, right? as they say. So let's take the sticky note and we're going to go cut it in half. And don't just try to use this to make it stick, because those kind of don't stick as well as your simply sealed. I mean, not simply sealed. Seal Plus adhesive. All right, so it's just as easy and quick almost just to make 2 as it was to make 1. So just go ahead and make a bunch of these at once. Okay, let's see if we got an answer back about the craft fair. Okay, we got Laura here from North Texas. All right, we said Brooke is also from Florida, so we have some people from Florida and Texas, and Jules from Auckland, New Zealand. Cool. Laura's crafting. Okay, she only charges 2. Okay, you need, that's because, okay, she said, Denise is saying she only charged 2. But I had a really good deal on sticky notes. Okay, so I definitely think, though, that try to do something like 3, and then if they want to get them for 2 for 5, you know, then something like that. So, I mean, I wouldn't go down to 2, because this alone was $1.25 plus tax, like just the sticky notes. And I got them from the Dollar Tree, but the Post-it notes will be even more. But yeah, hey, it's not like the materials cost that much. It's just, and it's not that much labor, but you do have to consider your cost. The materials are not that much for this, and I'm using my little scraps. All right, so now, what are we doing? We cut the designer series paper. I don't think we need the trimmer anymore. Thank you, Janet, saying hit the like button. All right, we are now, I think I have enough little things to decorate with for that, but I just need to cut out some white parts and maybe some seaweed. We're gonna look. So we're going to open up the, and we have to write down, I know what we have to do. We have to write down the DSP for you. So you don't, you know, because I tell you not to take notes. I just say, pay attention, don't take notes, because I give all this to you. So 3 1/8 by 2 inches, and 3 1/8 times 1 7/8. Okay? So I'm trying to think if that was, maybe the top was the top might have been, you know what? The top might have been, I'm trying to think if I made the top the big part. It doesn't really matter, right? As long as one side overlaps the other. What side's the top, what side's the bottom? As long as you get some to see the pretty papers. All right, that's cool. I'm good with that. I'm down with that. So I'm looking now for my Velcro. And for some basic white. We need some basic white to get some little clams, little shells, so that we can stamp onto them. Alrighty then, and I'm gonna grab I'm getting my stamping, I'm getting everything ready. You need the silicone, you need this, you need a stamping block for your Pearl, Rare and Precious. That's like the best sentiment, in my opinion, of this whole set. Okay, you need the Velcro. All right, so I'm just getting some Velcro. And what you do is you put the Velcro together, top and bottom together, right? The fuzzy part and the other part, and just put it on there, right near the top. And then when you close it, make sure you put your sticky notes always in there first. And then when you close it, sort of make it so that they can refill this with a bigger sticky note. So there's a little bit more room because I'm using like not the thickest sticky notes I can. Kind of like that. And then once you get it sort of loosely, then go ahead and give it a good press, right? Because you want both sides to stick together. Love the sound of Velcro, right? Cool. So that's how you close it. Or like we said, magnets. Yep, build those crafty muscles. I hear you guys. I hear you. So the Velcro is, you can get, like I said, a whole pack from the Dollar Tree. Anyway, let's start die cutting. We need to get going on that part. That part we have to stamp and die cut. So the sandwich is base platform 1, or base plate number 1. When I say sandwich, I'm talking about the die cutting sandwich. Now I'm getting hungry. Base plate number 2. We need a plate number 3. And then we need a plate number 3 for the top. So that's the sandwich. And in between goes this and the die. And when I say die, I'm talking about this die. Okay, and then of course we could cut out all these cute little things with designer series paper at the same time. Here, let's just go ahead and cut one for good measure. Just cut a little clam or a little scallop. I guess we'll call it a scallop here. We're going to put that in there and cut that. Okay, you see that? just because while I'm cranking, I should just go ahead and cut out something else. Even though I have lots of scraps of little gold things, and I might be able to cut out some small gold ones when I crank it through the next time. Okay, my top plate. You can cut all kinds of stuff at once. Your seaweed, et cetera, et cetera. So I actually ran out of the linen thread, so that I put on mine. Since I put it on my sample, you can see the linen thread. So then I added a piece of Night Navy twine. And in your kit, you have Night of Navy twine. And I'm pretty sure it's still on clearance right now. A great deal. 3 rolls of twine, different colors, on clearance for only like a few dollars. Isn't that beautiful? So just so you know about these, if you're new to this little bundle, this makes a little hinge for you. It's already scored for you, and that's brilliant. I love it. But we're not gonna put the hinge. Oh, you know what? We could put the hinge. We could put your Pearl Rare and Precious in there. We could stamp it and still put the hinge. We don't have to have it like that. We'll do one each way and see what happens. Actually, I always like to make a couple extras of these in case, just in case. And you saw, I hope you saw that this little shell, how cute that came out. Was it that one? I don't know where the paper went, but the paper, well, this is like so cool when you cut these. Just cut a little piece of paper there. So we'll go ahead and cut another one. We'll cut a small one of these little guys, just so we have some extra to play with. All right, let me see if I have some gold. The gold piece really works really well. So we'll put it on there instead. I didn't quite rip it enough. There you go. So we're gonna just cut another one. I just want to have an extra sentiment, so that way when we stamp, if we mess up, we have an extra sentiment. And at least I can get one full project done. Like show you start to finish how to decorate it, All right, so we have another clam, and we have some extra pieces made with the distressed gold cardstock. Be sure you get some of that stuff. That's in our annual catalog, and it's on our website now. All right, you can see the measurements again. I'll put all that there so you can see it. Now let's go ahead and stamp. This one, I'm going to go ahead and stamp it. Well, I'm going to go ahead and cut the one apart. Well, we'll just see if we mess up. We don't know which one we're going to cut apart yet. We're going to see if we can do these without messing them up, but let's not jinx ourselves, right? So let's open the Night of Navy ink. Put that there, and we want to look for the little stamp that says, "You are a pearl, rare and precious," because that stamp fits right inside the clam. And we're going to stamp onto the mat like so, just to get, condition your stamp, make sure it's doing good, and then go ahead and stamp onto your little happy clam. Okay, I think that came out okay. Let's see, try this one. Okay, that one came out better. I think I'm just going to try it this way. I don't want it as dark. I don't think they should have put a period on it. My opinion, I don't know what the designers were thinking. I wouldn't have put like a period at the end. I know they're trying to be grammatically correct and make a whole sentence. But when you put a period on stamps, see that happens sometimes, and the period gets kind of dark. So I'm thinking it looks a little better like this. And the other time I made it go the other way, but that's okay. We're going to just make it go that way. And then this one, we're going to make it go... maybe all right, never mind. This one I should have claimed. I was going to make it open up and say that. All right, so they're that way instead of that way, but it's all good. Still works. Now you're going to take your petal pink. I probably should have inked the petal pink. Oh, that rhymes. I should have done the petal pink inking before I stamped so it doesn't smear. But while we're here, we can go ahead and ink some of the, this one too, because we can probably use these. I'm going to trim them a little bit. I think I'm going to use them in my design, possibly. Either way, I'm going to ink them a little bit and see if we might use them in our design. All right, so I'm getting a stamping block and putting some ink on it. This is pretty dry. Keep meaning to get some petal pink re-inker. Okay, you're just inking up the edges for dimension. Ooh, how fun. And you do a bunch of these at once. All right, that's cool. Happy with that? Sometimes you can just tap right into it. I mean, this one, if I do go right into the ink pad, it's because it's really dry. Normally, I wouldn't tap this into the ink pad because the ink is usually not that dry. All right, being careful not to smear. Yeah, I know you're saying she always gets the re-inker, and I do too, Super Sanders 58. However, I could not bring the re-inkers in my luggage. I had to carry these inks in my luggage. My other stuff is being shipped to me. And I didn't want to buy all new re-inkers, but I knew what workshop was coming up. And I was able to, well, I didn't know necessarily what workshop was coming up. I just knew I needed some basic colors of ink to travel with. But I didn't want to put ink in my luggage, because can you imagine if the re-inker got into your luggage? Oh my goodness. You would never get that out of your clothes. So but ink pads, I just put like 3 or 4 in a quart Ziploc. And they travel really well. And then they just put like, even if they leak a little bit out the sides, it's like a baby wipe will get it off, no big deal. All right, so I may use these in my designs, if not now, definitely later, because that's really cool. All right, so let's decorate these. We can do something with the twine, right? You're just gonna tie a knot back there. And of course I don't measure, just kind of figure out how much you need. I'm just gonna cut more than I need, let's put it that way. Cut more than you need and trim it off later. It's only twine, and it's $3 for like 30 yards or 15 yards. Maybe there's like 5 yards in each spool. Maybe there's 10. I have no idea. But you know what? It's a lot of twine. I use it for my kits because that way you get to wrap all your little treats and things. So I'm always putting some kind of twine in the kits. I always put some kind of ribbon in the kits. I always put some embellishments in the kits. And you have lots of choices that way for your design. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. You have lots of choices. Like we've been using pearls this whole time, but you have other bling in your kit and other stuff to use. All right, so that's that. And now I don't want to really cover up that crab because I spent so much time, putting it there. And I don't think I need to put this right over the flap like I did for that one. I think I'm going to cover up the muscle. That's where I'm going to put that one. But, you can put it wherever you want. Just do it. And I use some Wink of Stella on the edges of this little guy. I might put one of these little guys right there. Something like that. I think that would be cute. So I went like this, right around the edge, and it just gave that little bling. Was fun, and maybe I'll kind of show you in the light. Here, can you see how that little Wink of Stella makes a difference? Shine on. So it's really just a nice little glitter pen, and I always have these in my stash. All right, so that's that. Let's see, I'm not sure. Oh, nope, don't use that one. I think I'm going to go like that. And I think I'm going to use a dimensional. Now, just be careful with dimensionals because they might not stick as much as Velcro would stick. But I don't really want to use glue either. They're going to pop it up. All right. I should use part of a dimensional. That's part of a dimensional. And I'm going to kind of put it more toward the top so it doesn't, no, kind of like I have to put it over a little so it doesn't cover up the sentiment. Oh, yeah, that's cute. Something like that. All right. And then you just keep on decorating. I mean, you just put like a couple more of these, some seaweed if you want. Oh, no, let's not cover the crabby. Okay, we're going to put a couple of these on the bottom. Let's see what we have. This guy doesn't contrast enough. We already used the gold, but this one would look cute. Let's see. See what we have. We have a crabby that's this color, but that's too big. This one might look nice. Yeah, there you go. That one and that one isn't dark enough. So those two. Ooh, here's a good one. That was the one I was looking for earlier. Remember I said, hey, what happened to the one I just cut out of the little paper? This paper is really cool for cutting these out of because of all the colors you get. Okay, and then I think I'm going to put, I like this color, but I think I'm going to put one of, I'll do one of these, but then I need a small one too. I'm going to just go for 5 on this one. So if you do like embellishments, you want like odd numbers. So if you go, like we'll put the petal pink in front of that one. Pop it up on a dimensional. And I'll just make 5 altogether. And we got to at least put 1 pearl in here, right? Since we're talking about being a pearl rare and precious, we have to put a pearl. I'll put that little guy over there for some. So I'm gonna pop some up and not pop some up. All right, I just want to show you how I fully decorate one. All right, good, except the little dimensional sticking out the side. I should use the mini dimensional because it's now sticking out the side. Stick around, guys, because I'm going to show you everything we created in this series in just a moment. We're almost done with part 5, and then I'm going to go show you, like, I made about a dozen projects from other parts of the series. We made 3 sympathy cards, 2 thank you cards, and a bunch of pearl cards. And 4 boxes, or 2 treat holders, 4 boxes. All right, let's see. You are a pearl, rare and precious. I'm going to go ahead and put the pearl on top. Since I, stamped it upside down the other way I was supposed to. Okay, good. Now we need 3 pearls because that's 1. So we have 5 clams. So I do things in odd numbers. And we have 1 pearl, so now we're going to need 2 more pearls. Let's see. We could put a pearl up here just kind of randomly. And let's put a pearl down here. 1, 2. Put one right there in that shell. And voila. We have a fully decorated sentiment, designer series paper, cardstock, and clams. And then this other one, we just a real rough draft. We'll do a rough draft. We're not going to do the Velcro and all. So I'm going to finish doing it before I do a video of this series. Like, that's not really light color, but maybe I could put him like inside there, but I don't think he needs to go on the outside. Let's just kind of, okay, would that be okay? Yes. Something like this would be okay. Something like that with maybe one of these in the middle and something like, down here, right, with some seaweed. Okay, so you get the idea. That's how you decorate. All right, let me finish saying hi. I'm going to show you my projects and we're done. Re-inkers, humming and hurrying to, I'm humming and hurrying to rejoin Stampin' Up. Humming and hurrying. I guess you mean you're humming and, yeah. You're on the fence. Okay, my team is here, Super Sanders, if you have any questions. It's a great deal, and there's no Stampin' Up, please. If it doesn't work out, nobody takes your starter kit back, hey, it's all good. Pre loves the sweet. Oh, yeah, I have die cutting machines that are electric, too, and I love that. And, of course, we love our ScanNCuts. All right, hello, Jules. She's working. She said, I'm working out with my Stamperetta. I like working out with my Stamperetta. We need to do, like, a funny video that's, like, all the different exercises you can do with the craft machines. That would be really funny. Like, I could do, like, weightlifting with the machines, right? And then cranking. Yeah, that could be some funny stuff right there. All right, before we move on, before I show you the whole suite, here's a sneak peek of what you're going to do for the first project, and we'll do something else, I'm sure. But this is, because this one only takes like 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. And it's a baby sticky note holder. And for this one, I didn't use cardstock. I didn't waste time with the cardstock and the extra layers. I just got the sticky notes, 4 for $1.25. Let me show you the package. And they were thinner than the Post-it notes. They're not as thick. So I just made my own measurements, and I just got a pack of 4. And I cut the bunny in half because the bunny would have overlapped the high. So I just cut the bunny in half. And when I mean cut him in half, I just mean I used the punch. I just punched a piece of paper and got the top of the bunny. And I could use a different color bunny for contrast. The high is from the stamp set. So this is the bundle you need to purchase, and it's probably going to run out, guys. Like, I'm thinking, because the Shamrock Punch already ran out, and that whole suite that had the plaid stuff in it, the one with all the hearts and the gingham hearts and all that stuff. I mean, some of that, it didn't run it. That one's coming back, I think. But the Shamrock says discontinued. So the punches, if you like it, get the bunny when so you could join my workshop all next month. So this bunny here, you stamp it and you punch it out with the bunny punch. This bundle's only $30-something. It's a great deal. It's a really great deal. So, like, get this Easter Bunny bundle. And if you want to get the kit is $49 for U.S. only. I can't sell it in other countries. That's in the link of this description. And we'll make this, and I'll even put as much as I can. I mean, because I have a few more packs. I'll put one of those in each kit, just so we can make the first project together. I didn't mail off the kit yet because I just started sign up, and their closes February 5th. All right, let me get my bucket of crafty goodness and show you what we made in this series. So you just saw part 5 where we made sticky note holders. And then in the last part, we created shaker boxes. I'm not going to open these again, but go ahead and check out part 4. You can see what's in the boxes and how to make these with the window. And I used this little shell guy. I didn't stamp underneath because there's not a stamp to go with this shell, but I used that shell twice to cut the holes in the designer series paper. And so that's how we did the boxes. Lots of fun decorations, and this was basic black. We did all the measurements, and that was part 4. Okay, part 4. Also in part 4, no, that's all we did in part 4. And then part 3, oh, also in part 4, though, I did show you my creation I came up with using the warm welcome bundle. This is not part of this bundle. This is part of the bundle, You Are Pearl. And all the papers part of this is by the Bay Designer Series paper. But the door, and even the paper, all the paper, in fact, all the paper is from this suite, except for the petal pink cardstock. But this door and the door die, I got this idea from my friend and my team member, Rhonda. She did this, and I liked how she made, you look out the door and you could see like the ocean. I really liked it. So she did that with the warm welcome bundle. So I really like that. So anyway, that one I just showed you for inspiration. All right, so then we did this. I don't know what order we did these in, but we made thank you cards with the beach. This is a die that comes in your bundle. So you can make the sand and the ocean. Make thank you cards. They each look a little different. You can use the birds. We stamped the birds right onto the background. And we stamped the sentiment. And we stamped these shells and die cut them out. You can make pretty scenes and stamp with all the stamps. But I pretty much like to use the other papers if there's like really cool designs. Like this crab. I'd rather cut him out of the paper than try to stamp him because of all the textures that you get when you cut it out of the designer series paper. Okay? That's the little mother of pearl paper that was in your kit. That's not going to be in the next kit, neither. I'll try to maybe, I don't know about the gold, but I'm not putting the mother of pearl in the next kit. But that was a very cool thing to have in your kit. It's retired now. I was only able to get a little bit of it. But the hexagon, I die cut that out for you out of another set. That doesn't come from the set. So anyway, You Are Pearl, Rare and Precious. And this was, by the way, Coastal Cabana. Excuse me, let me get a drink. And this one was Crumb Cake. Okay. All right, moving along. Sympathy cards. Excuse me. I call these designer series paper cards. I'm thinking we'll make designer series paper cards again with the Easter bunnies, because we could do so much with the Dainty Designs paper for spring. The Dainty Designs is that free celebration paper. And we can also do it with flowers and more, because it's going to be really nice for spring, and maybe some other flowers. This is Dainty Designs. It would make cute little panel paper like that. In fact, or is it Dandy Designs? Dandy, Dainty. Oh, I already forgot the name. It's in the celebration brochure. Okay, we made these double fold treat pouches. They hold tea. Put the little pearl inside. We embossed. We put the ink on to the metal die before we embossed it through the machine to get that effect. I showed that in one of the parts. You could put a Ghirardelli chocolate in there. You put a tea in there. Here's another chocolate. Or you could put a gift card. So this is a double fold treat pouch, and we made that, I think, during part 2. And then here are some boxes we made in the series. These are watercolored with just watercoloring. I did have a re-inker for the Night of Navy, but you could just put Night of Navy on a stamping block and use the aqua painters and just start going to town. So these are the little cheap boxes that are on clearance, which are a great deal. And every single time I shop, until they run out of them, I am going to at least get a pack of those, because if not, I'm going to regret it. Because I'm going to be putting those in kits from now until I run out. So I have a few packs of those, so we'll definitely each get a box for your Easter Bunny kit. Because we're going to be making lots of Easter Bunny things that you can put inside your Easter baskets. So a lot of the stamp I think I'm going to use the most. I mean, this is just me, but you can make cards, of course, if you want. I'm going to be making more treats than cards probably, but look, I'm going to be using this one the most. An Easter treat for you, because we're going to be able to make an Easter treat for you and make this little box, and we'll decorate it with an Easter theme and the bunny. So we'll be doing that, most of it. And then Happy Easter for the cards. Of course, use whatever you want, though. We could do some coloring. Use some watercolor pencils. All right, so that is all. I hope you enjoyed this series. Thank you. Thank you, Yvonne. I'm glad you like it. Pamela, it says the Shamrock Punch is discontinued. So I think that means gone forever, but that's just our country. So I should mention our country, because in the US, it said discontinued. But of course, other countries still have it. And it's going to be like on the black market. They're going to be like, I'm going to send it to you. No, I'm just kidding. I was going to get it. I really was. But now I'm like, no, I'm not going to get it. I mean, I'm not going to get it, not even like through another means, because I can't even demonstrate it. Like there's like, it's going to be making people upset. They'll be like, look at that. And I can't even use it. And I already have a Shamrock Punch coming from another, I call it contraband. No, not contraband, but another company. I had a Shamrock Punch before we even came up with Shamrock Punches. I got one when I was over in Korea, and I used it for my craft club. So, and I can use my ScanNCut to make shamrocks, but I'm still upset because it's a great way of using up all your green paper. Punch, 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 use up all your scraps. Love punches, and our punches are better than anybody's. Anyway, okay, you're looking forward to next tutorial. Okay, we're going to be doing this and something else, because this only takes like probably 10 minutes, 10 minutes. We'll do this and something else in our part 1. In the Easter Bunny series. I'm not doing it tomorrow because it's not February yet. I'm going to wait till February. I'm going to start in February. All right. So yeah, just cut them with your ScanNCut. We'll have to do that as another. I did that already in a tutorial. I'm going to do it again. All right. Thank you everybody for watching. This is the Paper Chef. Have a great day.